Britain's railway.
We are sorry to announce that from 18...
The oldest and one of the busiest in the world.
It's okay, thank you.
Just slow down, slow down.
Surely this is illegal to be packed in like this.
A huge network under constant pressure.
Absolutely mental today.
No driver.
No driver?
Come on, guys, look for the driver in guard.
Where anything and everything
Start champing it, son.
can mean delay and chaos for thousands.
Backs against the wall.
He's got a suicidal female on board.
Train now 90 late, owing to hitting a pheasant. I've heard everything now.
Filmed over a year across the nation.
That one, fella. That one. There's a seat next to banana.
We go behind the scenes of an industry we all love to complain about.
Do you want a hand?
Well, no, that's 323.50.
With the railway people determined to keep Britain moving.
Infinity, and beyond.
Into battle.
Oh, look at that little baby. They say, if you want to see life, you've got to be working here. See hen parties, stag do's, you know, you can see quite a lot on here from this point. You see domestics happening. Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Not half. Rugby fans fighting, football fans fighting. You'll see them. All I need is some popcorn and you know, drink. I'll be all right. Best seat in the house.
Leeds, one of the busiest stations outside London. 100,000 people travel through here every day, commuting in from towns across Yorkshire and onwards to all corners of the country.
This is an announcement for passengers travelling to Guiseley, Wenston, Birmingham, Walkdale, Skipton, Gartray, Alleyfield, Ilkley, and these passengers please make their way to platform 3.
Summer has arrived, and the afternoon rush hour is in full swing. Every walk of British life is here.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Helped through the ticket barriers by Imran.
Is your ticket not working?
It is, bro, I've been in a rush, yeah.
Everyone's in a rush. It's not
I
working.
tell you, it doesn't work. I come through every day.
Can you use your ticket, please?
Man, I need to go.
What's this shift like?
It's alright. Not too bad. I got to see my dad.
Got to keep an eye on him. I can do it from here.
Hanif is one of the longest serving staff here at Leeds. He's worked on this customer information point for the past 26 years.
He's just about to miss one. Sorry about that.
Imran followed his dad onto the railways, joining at just 18.
Did you say
What's that?
Did you say your grandfather worked in the railways?
Yeah, grandfather worked in the depot. He was a cleaner. Dad,
Yeah.
what does your dad do?
Worked in Kenya. Railway.
Railway?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Four generations. Then I've got me 2 brothers that work here. Alias, Idris, then Uncle Khalifa.
You can say that. Railway family.
Yeah, we were born into it. That's it.
St. George in my heart, keep me English. Keep me English till my dying day. Right, so Ryan, we'll just escort this lot around.
The English Defence League is en route to one of their regular summer demonstrations across Yorkshire.
Alfred Yankee from Charlie November 20.
Today, they're on the 1025 to Dewsbury, escorted by the British Transport Police.
Go through. So it says no surrender. No surrender. You can take your flags down, alright? You're being escorted, okay? Well, no shouting, no chanting, nothing like that.
Oh, it'd be the greatest job in the world.
If what?
If we didn't have any passengers. It'd be lovely. ride around, look at the cows.
Jason has been driving commuter trains across Yorkshire for the past 10 years.
I saw him in Leeds station a few years back, carrying on spitting and all shouting vile abuse. And
Can't choose who you carry.
no, you pay your ticket and you get your carriage, don't you? It's not really my cup of tea. It's when the sun comes out. He puts his hat on. Everybody comes out to play. Usually when I'm at work.
With the sun comes the alcohol, making this a challenging season for everyone at the station. The British Transport Police remove yet another drunk from the platform. Craig is one of 70 police officers based here.
The hot weather, of course you drink, you think you're getting hydration, you're not, you're dehydrating with the alcohol or whatever, and people find themselves in a sorry state. Marshmallow Man on the rubber carpet.
Right, you can't arrest the drunk and disorderly.
Keep talking to us.
Hey, you're alright? What's happened? Drunk and disorderly on arrest, he's gone down, banged his head on the floor.
If you do sort of, you know, stop and look, I think, well, what's your story? Because everybody's got a story, and we find ourselves in quite a privileged position because we walk into somebody's life at a given moment. You know, it might be a moment of elation, it might be a moment of distress, it might be something that's, you know, troubling them. And all the time you're watching them to think, well, what's your story? What's going on? And these are people who probably make fairly big decisions in real life, you know, and they've had a couple of halves of lager too many, and then all of a sudden everything that's organised about them just goes out the window.
Right. You ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
Here we go. Are you getting off, Jeff? Can I get past?
Let the driver off, please!
Make way for the driver.
Drunk passengers are common across the network, but up here in Yorkshire, in the smaller stations outside Leeds, summer brings a unique challenge.
Munch now, there'll be banana split by 11 o'clock.
It's Saturday, and from now on, every weekend we'll see summer revellers out on the Real Ale Trail. A pub crawl by train.
Stay liberty, that one, fella.
That one, cheers.
There's a seat next to banana. Just all part of my customer service. In my welcoming persona. Hello. Hello. Hello.
It's the most dreaded shift of the week, and today Jason has drawn the short straw.
You live in blissful ignorance until Saturday comes. Then you walk, oh.
Until 3 years ago, this ordinary stopping service through Yorkshire's prettiest villages was used by just the occasional shopper.
What, do you drive a train driver? Ooh, do you go to London? No. Do you drive the big one? No. I think that's the public perception that, you know, all the best drivers drive the big shiny ones to London. I can tell you that's not true.
What do the best drivers do then, Jason?
They provide a public service in the face of adversity, that's what they do.
What is that adversity?
Adversity is usually the public.
Since the Real Ale Trail became more well known, the shoppers and their families now find themselves in the middle of a party on the journey from Batley to Staley Bridge.
Okay, lads.
This pub crawl means real alers stop off at a station to sample a pint from a nearby pub before catching the train to the next station and pub down the line, and so on.
It's a good social study. You should come along, have a watch. The demise of man on the ale trail between the hours of 12 and 8. Like an evolution. You know, they go from standing up all proper to sort of lying in a puddle.
It's on the full cart and over. It's just getting a bit rowdy this way where they can't see.
Rowdy? Rowdy. Rowdy's the word.
By the afternoon, special security teams are drafted into these usually unmanned stations. The real ale passengers, it seems, need looking after.
Yeah, we've just got word from Network Rail.
No, the old jump rescued him.
The joke when the train's due is not that funny. I just don't want your mate to get killed by a train, mate. Well, if there's a train coming,
yeah, but it'd been a good funeral, wouldn't it? I mean, he's a great lad.
So we've had a report from the West Yorkshire Police of Manchester being in the Slaithwaite station area. Bit of caution in that area, BCN 64 to the signal and please
And they've had a report of a man trespassing, which will no doubt be an ale trailer. It just means you have to slow down to a speed that you can stop within the distance you can see clear. So obviously if he's still on or about the line, you know, we're not going to hit him.
Can everyone stand back from the platform edge, please?
Right, Annie down.
There are 8 stations and pubs along the route, and as the day wears on, drivers, conductors and the security teams have all become minders.
Ran over the fucking line.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, that idiot.
I can't leave here, they're all leaning against the side of the train. What's going on here then? Holding doors, they do this, they stand there whilst the mates, you know, the mates can't be bothered running for trains.
Shut doors, Jeff.
Oh, come on.
Jason's train is now delayed as he can't move until the relaylers are clear of the doors.
Right!
No, it's too late.
No, it's not. Come on.
It's too late.
What's this then?
Yep, 6 minutes down now.
Why is that?
Oh, that carry on there.
Oh, these nutters here.
He's battered, isn't he? He's lucky that express went through a few minutes ago. That lad had sea legs there, so he wouldn't have gone out that way.
People just come running across the track. It's just an accident waiting to happen, to be honest. You know, but that's just the way it is on this ale trail.
Whilst a handful of passengers can cause difficulty, it only takes one to delay trains right across the network.
Road Control to York, Jerry speaking.
It's 5 o'clock in route control, and Jerry and his team have had a call about a train that's stopped on the line between Manchester and Leeds.
Train running control, York, Jason speaking.
A fight's broken out between passengers on board.
Lovely, thank you, bye. Bye. Police have arrived. The train won't go forward, so it's obviously escalating. We've got a backlog of trains now. So 2 Mike 83 is the train involved, and that's the one that's got the trouble on board. We've got another 4, 5, 6, well, 7 trains we've got stood behind.
They've now asked for the dam to be blocked as well. It would appear the people are spilling onto the track. Police have requested both lines blocked.
This is Network Rail Control at York. This is an emergency call for trains in the
Route control is forced to stop all trains in the area.
Please respond. Over.
Delays caused by members of the public on the track are a daily occurrence.
Trespass becomes frustrating because they shouldn't be there. They're committing an offence. At the end of the day, if this was France or America, we'd run them over. There's no offences in France. People go on the railway, it's their own fault they're there. And America is very much the same. We are perhaps a bit too much of an nanny state, in my opinion, and people go on the railway and it's almost like we've got to stop and protect them. That's the way it is. I mean, there's nothing I can do about that.
Network Rail has a legion of maintenance staff whose job it is to keep the trespassers off their track. Kev and Stev from the Leeds team have been called out to repair a fence on the outskirts of the city.
Toodle pip. Give us a shout if you need help. Where you going?
Kirkstall.
Kirkstall. Oh, straight ahead.
South.
Straight ahead. Straight ahead.
Straight
Not
ahead?
fucking down there. Straight ahead.
Straight ahead.
You got plenty of names. Goosum, Twosome. Toot and Plute.
Well, I won't call him fucking Tom Tom because he don't know what shagging way.
We caught someone last time, didn't we?
Yeah.
Kev and Stev are responsible for keeping over 700 miles of fencing intact. Once just a boundary marking, big fences are now the only way to keep the determined trespassers out. Repairs are constant and costly.
I'll take a few just in case the bastards have pinged any more off. You can see trespass route, so it's definitely in used. How many's off?
Just the one. People don't want to live next to something what looks like Stalag Luft. When last time you sort of see kids that come along, they stand up fence, they wave to train drivers. Nah, you know what I mean? Nah, it looks like they're standing there behind back at fence. It's not the same as what it used to be. It seems to be, I don't know, it's like a gay haunt. If they did it on their side of the fence, no great problem. It's when they actually start sort of like intruding onto our side.
No, they have a problem.
We actually caught a chap running down with an orange wig as we came up one day to check the fence line. And I think he thought, Jesus Christ, I've got village people arriving. I'm in for a good one here. Well, how many times have I returned to this? You know, how many have we actually put on? You're paying 300 quid for a train ticket to go from point A to point B, and they want to know why. Because literally we're having to keep maintaining it, and it's costing more and more money to, you know, to rectify it. Just keep doing it until one day, I don't know, the relatives come along and tie wrap some flowers to the side of the fence because they got run over. Then it'd be a more tribute to them.
Yeah, but then we'd get
they
done.
want to, let's say.
Yeah. But then they blame us for having a hole in fence.
Yeah. Yeah. My Johnny made an hole in your fence and your train run him over. How ironic can you get?
A trespasser is killed nearly every week on our railways.
Stand back from the train, please. The train's leaving now.
6 o'clock at Leeds station and the commuters are eager to get home. Leeds is the worst in the country for passengers running across the tracks.
It is an offence to trespass on the railway. Please keep off the tracks.
People taking shortcuts to catch their train. Kids playing chicken, as well as the very drunk. They all seem oblivious to the dangers.
Saturday, a person under the influence got off a platform in front of an oncoming train. This is madness. Trains are silent, trains are fast, and it's very, very risky. Unfortunately...
Route Director Phil Verster, responsible for everything between London King's Cross and Edinburgh, is launching Network Rail's anti-trespass campaign here at Leeds.
That's fine, lovely. Good. Okay, you come towards me.
Wendy's son was killed by a train while playing on the tracks. She's joining the campaign today to help raise awareness.
For all these years, since 1997, I've never said his name. There's like a spark, and it goes. There's just something missing. There's always something missing. And it's like somebody's ripped something out, and it's there all the time. And you still sometimes think of them, they're going to come home. And you see all the friends growing up, and they've got children, you wonder, what if? You've never got anything of that, have you? All I've got is, you know, come Christmas, birthdays, all I've got is I take some flowers down at the tracks. That's all I've got, my son. I've got photographs, but that's sort of the clearest. One, it's the same one. I need somebody to digitally change his jumper on it or something so it looks different. You know. Because unfortunately, you know, you always end up with the same ones. That's me to look at it.
This is how he was. Good looking chap.
Not bad for his age, was it? That was the cap that he had on the day before. Obviously, the one that he had on was destroyed. So that was the nearest I got, and it's getting a bit tatty now, but Goes everywhere, even when I'm all poshed up.
Operations in the day speaking. Hello, 1 under. About a minute old. Yeah, Cambo.
Reports coming in of a person under a train in Doncaster area. Hearing more reports as it comes in.
Yeah, hello there. It's Network Rail Control at York. We've got a fatality just occurred.
They're thinking he might be about 16, 17-year-old, maybe younger. So, yeah, we're not sure about opening things up as yet.
It's thought the victim is a teenage boy who'd been trespassing on the tracks 40 miles south of Leeds. While police and Network Rail teams deal with the scene, Craig has to go and break the news to the boy's mother.
Just confirm how many trains are stopped at the moment.
Well, at the moment, itself and 2 others, another 4 stood behind that, and about 800 people on them.
We are sorry that the services are subject to delay because of the fatality. Every effort is being made to restore services to normal as quickly as possible.
Trains will have stopped running at the incident for operational safety and also the respect for the deceased.
The reality of the report is that such is the state of the remains of the body that we could still be quite some time.
With trains across the region stopped while the body is removed, Craig first calls in at the local police station for a briefing.
It's very, very sad. This lad is one of our regular visitors.
Sergeant Gregory was one of the first on site.
ID is a problem because, of course, we've got significant injuries in but he's got a blue plaster cast on his arm, which is fairly convincing that it is him. And 2 days ago, he was caught playing chicken with cars. A week ago, BTP have had some involvement of playing chicken on the railway track. Problem we've got is, of course, his mum. She's working nights, unaware of this has gone off, and we need to get that sorted.
Yeah, we need to go up and do that.
Mum works at the Asda superstore, one of the night staff working, so we're just going to have to walk in and find her.
Right.
Yeah,
go speak to Mum.
One of them things, we've just got to go and do the hard bit and ruin Mum's, we'll probably ruin her life, bless her.
Yeah. There's this sort of moment that you get before and you're just sort of thinking about you're about to sort of tell somebody the worst possible news, and it's something not something you can take lightly, really.
Right.
Let's do it.
Let's do it, mate.
Let's do it. There's only one person that knows exactly what happened, and they can't tell us why they were doing it, why they were there. All right, Sam? If this is a tragic accident, and it looks like it is, it's a young life, isn't it? You know, that's potential gone right there. Is duty manager available? If they could come down and... She's just come in now, so... All right. Okie dokie. All right, cheers. Hi. I'm Craig. Do you want to just join us in? Lovely. Yeah, it's not an easy thing to do, not at all. And you know, it's such an instant and raw grief. You know, there are so many why questions. You know, it's if a police officer tells you that they don't feel it, then they're not being honest with you. you hurt like hell. You know. I'm a big lad, but I cry, you know, because you've got a lot of why questions yourself, you know, and then you go home to, you know, I go home to my wife and my beautiful daughter, and, you know, it's hard not to carry a little bit of it. You know, you don't forget a name, you don't forget a place. Sometimes you don't even forget train numbers.
It's 4 a.m. All the trains have been cleared, and Craig is now visiting the site of the fatality. He's here to do a last check of the tracks in daylight for any of the boys' personal items, before the first trains are due.
It's quite odd, isn't it? You know, another sort of the morning comes up and everything sort of changes, another day starts, and all of a sudden there'll be thousands of commuters travelling this line, and no idea as what's gone on the night before, and
anything personal, I would imagine, will be thrown on the upside. I did notice there's a couple of pieces of a white hoodie that are obviously,
all right,
and
okay,
one sock.
Get that in. There, that's okay.
So that's definitely looking like point of impact.
Yeah.
Obviously with downdraft from train, it's
pulled it back.
Daniel was just 15 years old. He'd been known to play near the train tracks, but it's not clear why he was there this time.
Can you pop that in there for me?
Not thought to be a deliberate act. It's assumed it was a tragic accident.
Okay.
DL 637 Northern train service to Manchester Victoria via Halifax. Into battle. Come for your morning hug.
Train conductor Bridie has been on shift since the crack of dawn. She's on the 6:37 to Manchester, full of her regular commuters.
Anyone need tickets? Any more tickets? Yes, love, what you want? You won't believe what habits I learn about people when you do the same job for 5 years. People have said to me, the toilet's been engaged for half an hour, and I can look at my watch of where we are and I can know who it is. That's how bad it is. Are you alright, yeah? See you later, bye, see ya. See ya. See you later. Bye. Time is money.
How's that? It's been a
It'll
pleasure.
be the right laugh. We'll do lunch next week.
His ex-wife used to say, that were quick.
Oh, if you'd have fallen then. See you later. Everybody's rushing, especially in this day and age. On a morning when you're at Leeds station, that like, yeah, it's obviously big city, one station, and when they're all coming over the escalator, if you stood back away from it all, it's just like millions of ants going over the escalator. Nobody stops. Doesn't matter what happens. I once saw a little old lady fall over, and about 4 people stepped over her before anybody went to help her. I mean, obviously we all got to work, but yeah, it seemed a little bit harsh. A lot of people just really don't have any thought for anybody else. I always remember my husband had just died, and I weren't working fully, I was just collecting fares. This lady got hysterical about a train leaving 3 minutes before, and there were no calming her down. I had to walk away, and all I could think was, I wish I just had to worry about a train getting in 3 minutes later. It does make some things seem really, really petty sometimes.
Yo, how long are we going to be here?
Something for the signaller.
Bullshit!
Leave that bucket, you ain't seen it?
I think it's the nature of the building and the nature of the job, you know.
might be possessed. It's Leeds Station, might be possessed. Turns everybody into angry people. Everything's your fault. I can't understand it because they'll go out there and they'll kind of change into nice people again.
Use your tickets in the barriers, please.
That season ticket's got stuck in here again.
Cheers. I can't wait to get home to my boys. I miss them.
Thank you very much. What's it like working with your dad?
You've got to be on your best behaviour. Yeah. It's a respect, isn't it? Got to respect your dad. He'll tell me, railway job, your job is for life. That's what he'll say to me. He'll probably bollock me if I'd leave.
I'd like to go through, please.
Should use your tickets. I wanted to have my own business or something, you know, be a businessman or something. Nothing goes, it doesn't go your own way though, does it? Is she alright? You sure? I'm playing dead.
By 10 p.m, the busy commuters have gone, and now most of Imran's passengers have been for a drink or two.
Fuck this, man. He said, you've had a few drinks, we're taking you off your train. They took me off my fucking train now. They fucking robbed me. They took my ticket off me. Fucking pricks. I swear to God.
As the nightclubs and bars surrounding the station begin to close, Imran prepares himself for partygoers of all ages taking the last trains home.
Yeah, we have to wait for it, but that's bad, is that, what that guy? I mean, it's we in there, full view of people.
Ah, dearie me. Just come straight through.
No, I just want to, right, I want to go.
Just come here. Just take a seat. There's just weed over there.
Weed?
Yeah, all the wee big puddles and stuff.
There's people going about their everyday business, and you're stood urinating in a public place. It's not acceptable, really, is it?
No, I'm so sorry.
I don't drink, I mean, I was asking, how would you like to be drunk, what happens, and they were explaining it to me, I still don't get it. Must be strong stuff. Can't wait to get home. Yes, sir.
Can I go, mate?
Sorry?
Can I go, mate?
Fitzwilliam, 13B.
After that, mate.
You've got to be quick.
Right?
I'm going that way. Come on.
Can you take me, please?
Yeah. So, are you all right?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Sure.
Can you take me, please?
Yeah, I'll take you. Don't worry. Come
you
this.
All right, just take me.
Yeah, straight on.
Can I give you some money?
I don't want no money. It's all right.
Can I give you some money now?
No, you're all right.
Where are we going now?
It's down here. Oh, sorry, this.
You don't know where you're going.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You know, all right, here.
And you get my train.
You're pillicking me.
What's that?
You're fucking pillicking me.
No, honestly, I'm not.
Come here.
That's your train. I need to get my train now. Downstairs, you can use the stairs if you want. I'm pillicking him. Right. Some of them are double my age. I'm like, whoa. You should look up to your elders and that. And if you're looking up to people who are drunk and swearing and, you know, just doing what they like, it's not nice.
Imran will be back on the ticket barriers tomorrow evening. It's the wettest summer for a century, and Yorkshire is one of the worst affected areas.
This is a safety announcement. Due to today's wet weather, please take extra care whilst on the station.
For the railway staff, weather like this is far more challenging than the most difficult of passengers. And it's Friday. the busiest day of the week.
We got another storm coming. It's gone dark. It's like night time suddenly, isn't it? Are we going to float away from Leeds Station?
Lovely weather.
Dozens of rapid response teams are deployed to keep the trains moving.
Torrential downpours in certain areas, isn't it?
The drainage just can't take the volume of water. Cut all the caution in for definite here. The biggest lightning's at axle counters. It's like I'm piss wet through out here, just checking all flooding, because all the top of the roadway's flooded as well.
First stop is on the outskirts of Leeds. Here a road next to the train line has flooded because the council's drain is blocked.
Because they don't maintain it on a regular basis, fills up, water then flows through the fence line, straight onto the railway, and people keep asking why you're slowing my train down again. It's because your local council couldn't bother to come and clean a drain out once or twice a year. If nothing interfered with railway, trains would run on time. But because it's literally external things what keep naffing the railway, like this.
Yeah, I know it's flooded. Yeah. Yeah, there's always a story.
No idea. No idea. Not at this moment in time. They have got people out working on it.
There's not, in all honesty, there's not a great deal we can do because the sheer volume of water was coming down.
A month's worth of rain has fallen in just one day, and flooding sites are popping up all over Kevin Stev's patch as water pours off the neighbouring land onto the tracks.
This is a classic. It used to be wasteland. They build a brand new housing estate or they build umpteen new factories. They haven't piped it into anything. They've just literally stuck it onto embankment and sort of gone, there you go, it's yours now, you deal with it.
There's definitely no trains going at this moment in time because it's flooded.
But if I wait for the next one, will it definitely come?
No.
There's no let-up in the rain, and by 3 o'clock, flooding has crippled the network. All trains on this main line from Leeds to London have now been stopped.
Controlled havoc would be a good description. It's a weather event. It's something that's quite unprecedented for the time of year. It looks like every route we've got's got major incidents on it.
And with rush hour fast approaching, the pressure is on to get the trains moving.
Hello, mate. Is this urgent or can it wait?
There's a massive tree stump that's wedged in at the side. And then we're off to Carverley. It may need the sandbags rebuilding back up.
I hope he's not looking for his fleece. I've just pinched his. It's the only dry one we've got left.
Every minute counts, and it's things that we have no control over.
Kev and Stev have been dispatched to the site where trains are stranded. The line is closed because once floodwater rises above the rail, there's a very real risk of derailment.
Basically, when the railhead's covered, it's not right practical to start running trains on something you can't actually see. Because you don't know what's floating in it.
We don't know what's up with the track, do we? It's washed in with the track.
The drainage system is now overwhelmed, so there's nowhere to pump the water to. The only thing they can do is try to channel the water away from the rails.
Once we get it so it can actually drop down below railhead, we then, believe it or not, start running at 5 miles an hour. At least get passengers up and running again. You know what I mean?
So that's been delayed as well, yeah.
Rush hour. Routes are now blocked in almost every direction, and staff on the front line are struggling to give any options to the passengers.
Do you know that train to Glasgow that's been delayed?
Yeah.
What are the chances of it getting here?
I don't know. That's being completely honest, because it's stuck behind a flood. I don't know what to say.
You know if the next one will be running, or...?
I would doubt it at the moment. The only way... Right?
That's the only train that goes to Thurnsker, where we need to be.
You said Sheffield.
And I just want to know if it's going to be running.
I was telling you about the Sheffield train.
not a Thurnscoe train.
I know you're probably having a really bad day and all that, but you're supposed to be calming me down, not me calming you down, mate.
Going slowly.
Kev and Stev have at last managed to drop the water levels enough to open the line.
Your underpants are really wet now.
But getting trains moving is a slow process. They're only allowed to run at 5 miles per hour, causing them to stack up as they await their turn to go through the flooded area.
You delayed my train, young.
I'm sat on a train, you're stood outside the train. It must be your fault why I am not getting between point A and point B. It's always our fault. Flooding, so why didn't you deal with it?
Oh, my life. Right, let me just do some maths first.
For every minute a train is delayed by flooding, trespassers or any technical problems, it's Network Rail that foots the bill.
It's been absolutely phenomenal. We've accrued in just one day alone, and this is just looking at lightning strikes, which account for 2,600 minutes, 16,500 minutes worth of delay caused by flooding across the route. In a day, that's probably 2 months' worth of budget in terms of minutes, which is huge.
Right then, because start here, mum.
This gentleman was
If you've got a car parked in the station, I'll get you to the station.
You don't need to be rude to me, I'm asking you a simple question. Are we getting bulk taxis or are we getting individual taxis? Simple question.
Yeah, just hang on here. The East Coast member of staff will come and sort you out very shortly.
Network Rail has to pay up to £200 for every minute of delay to the train companies, some of which is passed on to the passengers, claiming ticket refunds or taxis
He's on
home.
his own, we just have to be patient. I appreciate it's not been a great night for you, but he is doing his best, all right?
But will he come back?
Yes, he will do, yes. Anybody else wanting a claim form? Might be complaint form for the lack of complaint form in a minute. We're running out very drastically, yeah. Chuffing out.
From my opinion, it would be so much better if this was all excludable and we didn't pay anything, and somebody said, that's something you can't do anything about, therefore we'll write it off as a day. But the regimes don't work like that.
There you go, love. That's your claims form for you, okay?
On Jerry's route, compensation paid out for flooding on this one day is £1 million.
Bingley and Keithley.
People wonder why trains are expensive. It's completely nonsense.
Bit of a lonely existence. You have to enjoy your own company. Which I do, to a degree. It's like wildlife on one on this job, isn't it? I've hit dogs, cats, foxes, I've hit them all. Never hit a magpie. Far too clever. Pigeons aren't the cleverest of animals, are they? They tend to sit in a tree and wait until you're coming past and then fly out in front of you. Pigeon playing chicken, who'd have thought? Pheasants tend to stand on railhead, just sort of look around, and they don't. It must be something to do with not having binocular vision because they can't judge perspective. So you're about 4 feet away before they realise. So.
And then what?
Well, they sort of just go, ooh, and then you hit them.
When's the next train to New Pudsey?
10B.
Okay,
Up the steps and left.
Like that? Like really thick here and then really thin.
I couldn't help it. Oh, that was funny, that one. That was funny. Introduce yourself.
Hiya.
Young man.
I am a regular train spotter around West Yorkshire, and I come to Leeds quite a lot, and I know quite a lot of East Coast staff, including drivers, guards, Hanif himself.
A fan club.
I'm 17 and I absolutely love diesels.
No, not very pretty, these ones. These are modern. Train of the week. Not my train of the week. My train of the week is a different one to that. That's a proper engine. Class 37, built in 1960. Brilliant celebration of British engineering. Built in this country, still going on the main line 50 years later. Not mine, but I do own one the same. I think for us, a lot of it's about, it's us recreating our past. It's how we used to work in the days of British Rail and before, where we ran the railway as a purely railway rather than a business. In those days, it was about playing trains. Nowadays, you've got a different world you're working in.
A man in dark clothing has been spotted by the tracks. A suspected cable thief. It's top priority for British Transport Police Officer Craig.
Come on, Mr. Taxi, what are you doing?
Over the past 5 years, cable theft has become one of the biggest threats to the railways, and Yorkshire suffers the most.
So we've got a cable theft in progress. There's been a sighting of a male who's European-looking, at line side, looking at the cable at the side of the rail. Of course, we get a lot of cable theft, so we make it an immediate grading and we get out there and see what we've got.
The concern is if the man steals essential signalling cable, no trains can run.
Oh, sweet child of mine.
Thefts happen every week in this region. Thieves stripping the cable for the valuable copper inside.
And this is the area we're looking at here, just to our right. And there's a bit of track up the side, and at the end of the track, where's he running to? Watch the male in the grey there. Him doing a legger.
Doesn't match this one. He's running, isn't he?
Yeah.
That's the guy.
Take a grip of him. BX Charlie 38 on scene. 2 males with us at this time, 1 matching description. Stand by for update.
Description 4.
Right, okay. You've not been on the railway at all?
No, I haven't been on railway.
Right, okay. I'm just going to speak to my colleague and check this guy out. Do you know this gentleman at all?
No.
Right, no problem. Just wait with me a
It
second.
turns out he's just a passerby, so Craig turns his attention to the other man who does match description.
At this point in time, I'm going to search you, okay? Because you've been on that side of the railway, yeah? And because we get cable stolen, I can search you under section 1 apace, all right? Right.
Right.
Sorry,
1 minute.
Just turn this way for me so I can feel that pocket. Okay.
Okay.
Straightforward trespass.
Just have a word, Craig.
There's nothing that would suggest to me that he's anything other than probably a little bit naive.
Are you reporting for trespass?
Yeah, he's going to get reported for trespass.
Okay.
So.
It's lovely. We'll leave you to it.
Right.
The man says he's been taking a shortcut home, but he has been trespassing and will face a fine of up to £1,000.
It'd be lovely to get a cable thief, but on this occasion he's a trespasser, isn't he? So. As far as cable thieves are concerned, it's not dark enough, I would say, just yet. As we get into the night, then yeah, they come out. The cover of darkness. Well, we'll see what the night brings.
Cable thieves cost the railway £16 million every year and disrupt nearly 4 million train journeys. It's Monday night and British Transport Police Officer Steve Kite is visiting a known hotspot.
I think our bobbies have done this.
Yeah, today.
Has it been caught?
Yeah, it's been caught.
4-6.
Just there.
It's
it's been lifted there.
And what they've done is obviously just gone straight through this chicken wire fence, and you're immediately next to hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of copper-rich cable. And over the past 6 weeks, they've just systematically stripped it away. This stretch of track now has probably seen something in the region of about 150,000 pounds worth of cable theft. That sort of money they'll never get. Scrap value for them, at best, is a couple of grand. And they won't stop. They can't stop. These are people who don't want to get caught, who are carrying axes, knives.
Policing Britain's 20,000 miles of track, most of it through remote areas, is a challenge. Steve is part of a specialist task force with high-tech cameras and alarms at their disposal. But tonight, they deploy some plain old-fashioned surveillance from a bush. "10 miles up the track, a different gang of thieves has stolen cable from a commuter line for the second night in a row.
That's a helicopter.
Could be anywhere.
It could be anywhere. These lads have said where they've seen cable out the troughing.
Just finding the cut in miles of cable and then rejointing and testing up to 96 connections can take several hours. If the technical team can't fix it before morning, the commuter trains won't run.
That there, they've cut it on that.
Then all of a sudden it's kicked in again. Price of copper must have gone.
Looks quite clean, that. Yeah. Well, they could be like high voltage.
We had one last week where they found a dead body underneath some arcing cable that was obviously a theft attempt. So, to some, I'd say poetic justice. 25,000 volts is a lot of volts to play with. It's a constant battle that we are faced with that we weren't faced with 15 years ago even. I think the pressure of living in the UK in 2012 financially has led people that wouldn't have committed such crimes to commit what they believe to be an easy hit.
Do you think they're getting cleverer? Or?
Oh, they're getting very clever. I think some of them even know what they're doing now, don't they, lads? I hope we're not doing this just to set it all up for them again for tomorrow night.
Steve and his colleagues have been waiting in the bushes for 2 hours now, and they've just spotted movement further down the track.
Down. Gareth, get down. Come here. There's a torch in the distance. What is it?
Follow it round the corner.
To the left.
See it?
Yeah. I've got it.
There's someone on the track with a torch in the vehicle.
Come on, then.
Take 04, if you can cover where we've just come from. We've got this end covered.
Police! British Transport, please.
Network line.
You okay?
Just the two of you.
There's another lad that's already gone down there.
Right, no worries.
Okay.
Yeah, all right, pal.
Cheers, guys.
All right. Cheers, boys. I got all excited for a minute then.
Never say never.
No. We know what's going to happen, they know they're going to do it. They can't stop doing it and we can't stop trying to catch them. Sometimes they win, sometimes we win. It's a score draw at the minute, I think.
Next goal wins.
Next goal wins. I thought that was it.
Back in Leeds, the last trains of the night are leaving. Stragglers remain around the station, and the police are still on duty.
I need to get to Hull. Do you know what I mean? I've got a little boy.
There's no more trains to Hull tonight.
Do not talk to me like I'm a schoolboy.
There's no more trains to Hull. I'm not your son. I'm going to ask you once to leave the station. Please. I've asked you nicely. I'd like you to leave.
Earlier today, this man was removed from a train for smoking and drunkenness. Told to sober up before travelling, he's continued to drink and has now missed his last train home.
Sometimes it's easier with newborn babies than with grown adults in alcohol. Give him one last opportunity to disappear.
The British Transport Police has the same powers as any other police force, but is paid for by Network Rail train companies and ultimately through ticket fares.
Oh no! Look who it is, Dick. Look who it is.
Nicholas, I'm not going to tell you again. No. We're busy dealing with other jobs. We cannot keep coming back to you because you're drunk. Right, disappear off the station, please. No, go away. We've got other things to do. Right, listen. You've had a bad day. You've been to a funeral, right? And I've allowed for that. I've given you the benefit of the doubt, allowing for the bad day you've had. Leave the station, please, or you will be arrested. Disappear.
If he carries on, he's going to get himself arrested for being drunk and disorderly because we can't leave him like this, and he just won't leave. Nicholas! Nicholas! Nicholas!
You don't have to say anything, but may I be defence if you feel to mention one question, something which will later on you can't.
I mean, still, I don't need it. I don't deserve this.
Bloody hell.
This is Elias, my brother.
Hello there.
He's the middle one.
The grumpy one.
Is that true? No, it's not true. He's the team leader. I always got to the table first, as you can see, for my size. Isn't it? It's like a second home, isn't it? You know everybody, you know what I mean?
How's it going?
From golf. You've got your family and then you've got your railway family.
Yeah, some people think of it that way. It's like that, I suppose. There's always one brother that gets on your tits, isn't there?
I'm waiting for my daddy.
How did you get behind us?
It's good to see you. So, Daddy, did you have a good time on honeymoon?
If you sort of start to believe, oh, they're all the same, oh, it's another drunk or it's another ticket fraud, to become cynical and sort of say, you know, I'm not going to deal with this, it's just time to go then. Time to go.
Ta-da. Suspect package on a train at Leeds. It's a unique industry. There's nothing else I know that's anything like it. Well, when I started being interested, probably about 12, but the days of writing numbers down are 20 years gone. Once upon a time. But it's not done me any harm. I've ended up where I am, doing a job I love doing, and very much that's what it does. It gives you the passion for trying to deliver a better railway, no matter how difficult it may be at times.
Dad.
Yeah?
What does your dad do?
Worked in Kenya. Railway.
Railway?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Four generations. Then I've got me two brothers that work here. Elias, Idris, then Uncle Khalifa.
You can say that. Railway family.
Yeah, we were born into it. That's it.
St. George in my heart, keep me English. Keep me English till my dying day.
Right, so Ryan, we'll just escort this lot around.
The English Defence League is en route to one of their regular summer demonstrations across Yorkshire.
Out for the entry from Charlie November 2000.
Today, they're on the 1025 to Dewsbury, escorted by the British Transport Police.
Go through. That's what it says, no surrender. No surrender. You can take your flags down, alright? You're being escorted.
Oh, look at that little baby. They say, if you want to see life, you've got to be working here. See hen parties, stag do's, you know, you can see quite a lot on here from this point. You see domestics happening. Yeah, oh yeah. Not half. Rugby fans fighting, football fans fighting. You'll see them. All I need is some popcorn and you know, drink. I'll be all right. Best seat in the house.
Leeds, one of the busiest stations outside London. 100,000 people travel through here every day, commuting in from towns across Yorkshire and onwards to all corners of the country.
This is an announcement for passengers travelling to Guiseley, Menston, Burnley and Waltham.
Britain's railway.
We are sorry to announce that from 18...
The oldest and one of the busiest in the world.
It's okay, thank you.
Slow down!
Surely this is illegal to be packed in like this.
A huge network under constant pressure.
Absolutely mental today.
No driver!
No driver?
Come on, guys, look for the driver in guard.
Where anything and everything
Start champing it, son.
can mean delay and chaos for thousands.
Backs against the wall.
He's got a suicidal female on board.
Train now 90 late, owing to hitting a pheasant. I've heard everything now.
Filmed over a year across the nation.
Right, that one, fella. That one. There's a seat next to Banana.
We go behind the scenes of an industry we all love to complain about.
Do you want a hand?
Well, no, that's 323.50.
With the railway people determined to keep Britain moving.
Infinity, up beyond.
Into battle.
Alifield, Ilkley, and these passengers being led away to platform 3.
Summer has arrived, and the afternoon rush hour is in full swing. Every walk of British life is here.
Cheers.
Helped through the ticket barriers by Imran.
Is your ticket not working?
It is, bro, I've been in a rush, yeah.
Everyone's in a rush. It's not
I
working.
tell you, it doesn't work. I come through every day.
Can you use your ticket, please?
Man, I need to go.
What's his shift like?
It's alright. Not too bad. I got to see my dad.
Got to keep an eye on him. I can do it from here.
Hanif is one of the longest serving staff here at Leeds. He's worked on this customer information point for the past 26 years.
He's just about to miss one. Sorry about that.
Imran followed his dad onto the railways, joining at just 18.
Did you say your,
What's that?
Did you say your grandfather worked on the railways?
Yeah, grandfather worked in the depot, he was a cleaner.
Okay? Well, no shouting, no chanting, nothing like that.
Oh, it'd be the greatest job in the world.
If what?
If we didn't have any passengers. It'd be lovely. Ride around, look at the cows.
Jason has been driving commuter trains across Yorkshire for the past 10 years.
I saw him in Leeds station a few years back, carrying on spitting and all shouting vile abuse. And
Can't choose who you carry.
no, you pay your ticket and you get your carriage, don't you? It's not really my cup of tea.